Hello, everybody. Trash Talk time, 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning, and glad to have you with us. We've been
Yeah,
getting some positive feedback lately.
we have.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, both of them.
Hmm.
But we really appreciate when some of you just reach out and say, "Hey, listen, I listened to your show last week or watched the show and all, and that was pretty cool." It makes us feel pretty good. It doesn't put a damn thing into our bank accounts, but
Sure doesn't.
we appreciate
Same.
you watching the show and telling us you like it.
Yeah, I wish the one thing I will say is, guys, we still are waiting for some ideas from you guys. We haven't
Yeah,
heard any ideas. Either you guys are not creative or you just don't want to tell us. So please tell us. Doesn't mean we'll do them. But some days, we're just sitting around going, what are we going to do today?
and that's a really
And
good idea. Yeah, just email us, call us, text us,
text
whatever,
us,
and
drop it
just
in the
say, hey, why don't you
comments,
guys talk about this? I don't care if you want to talk about dandelions or something, but just
Well,
you know, I don't know whether we could talk about
I
dandelions,
can't.
but
I could tell you about back in the day when we used to make tattoos with them on our arms. Because the dandelion, like the yellow, would stay on your arm, and we would draw. But that's all I
or
got.
or you used to put your date in the car and drive out into the country and then pick the white ones and
No,
blow
no.
the
On a
seed
horse,
oil.
on a horse, or no, no, because nobody's done that. I don't do that.
That'd be a good one. There you go. See,
I've taken some people out to the country before, but they didn't make it back. So
but that's the last time we ever saw them.
yeah, it's a different story. So
So see, maybe dandelions isn't such a bad
yeah,
topic, folks.
God,
Just
we're not doing it. I
come up
quit.
with come up with some ideas and let us know. But I was thinking today about how much is too much. I
Of
mean,
what? Of what
I
exactly?
mean, almost anything because we got this mixed bag. I mean, our economy is really not doing that bad, but everybody
Uh,
complains about the price
It
of
is doing
everything
that
is
bad.
going up.
How do they figure that out? How do they figure here? Okay, I'm not going to go off on this, but how do they figure that out that our economy's not doing that bad? Because unemployment rate is down. Okay,
Yeah,
big deal.
stock market is through the roof.
That's because, okay, number one, unemployment rate is down is because nobody can get on it because we lived on it for a freaking year for COVID. So nobody can get back on it. That's number one.
Yeah,
Number two, stock market through the roof. Cool, great. So CEOs and big multi-billion-dollar corporations are doing good. Okay. What is the other factor? I want to know. I'm trying to figure it out.
well, I mean, certainly there's product back on the shelves.
So,
You can buy whatever you want, and we've talked about this several times. Is if you go into some stores, especially the grocery stores, you can buy the brand name or you can buy the house brand. And sometimes you're saving a 50 cents or $1 by buying the house brand over the brand name. It's your choice. You want to
but
spend a
that's
little
always,
more for
but
Kellogg's, or you want to just get the house brand cornflakes.
that's almost always been there with a lot of stores, with Kirkland, with HEB, with they've had their so
Right. Kroger does
I
the same thing.
I still don't think, in my opinion, I think that we are under a false sense of the economy's doing good. I really do. Because I think if you did a street poll and you sat there and you asked anybody who came by, and I'm picking an area where you're going to get a diverse amount of people, different walks of life. And I think they would all say that they are not that they are struggling to some degree, that they don't have as much money in their bank account as they did, and that's what so that's why I get a little worried. I know I went off, guys. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, but you said the key thing. They are struggling to some degree. And that's what I wonder, what is that some degree? Because does that mean that when you're going to the grocery store and getting all your groceries, you're going to say, well, you know what? I can't afford to pick up a couple of six packs of beer. I'll have to let that go.
Maybe.
Uh, but
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
are you because I
Yes.
mean the parking lots at the steakhouses are still full. The parking lots at the movie theaters and venues and everything are full.
No.
People are
No.
still paying big bucks for concert tickets.
No. I disagree.
Yeah,
Yes, look at movie theaters. Movie theaters are struggling more than ever right now. They're not full. What movie has come out that has brought people besides Barbie and Oppenheimer to the movie theater in the droves? None. Even the good movies like One Love and Dune, that Dune Part 2, which did great, it's not bringing people in. Now you have a massive dry spell. We're approaching summer, and we don't have any summer blockbusters except for one coming out, you know? So you look at concert venues, concert tickets are through the roof. People aren't, they're actually having to come down on prices because of that, because it's too much, you know?
but they're still filling, 40,000 seat stadiums for concerts.
Look, if you're Taylor Swift, but if you ain't T Swift, you ain't filling no stadium.
Yeah, but that's why I wonder, when is enough enough? Now I just saw that there is a new ticket outlet that does not have additional fees, because sometimes you go out and you say, oh, hey,
Sure.
$40 for that concert, that's not too bad. Well, then there's an event fee and a tax and this and that, and all of a sudden that $40 ticket is an $80 ticket.
Yeah, we've talked about that for sure.
And now they're starting to, some of these outlets are starting to say, no, look, we're going to go in and we're going to try and negotiate to buy a block of tickets at a discount and then sell them for face value, no extra fees other than maybe a tax, and make it that people will want to go and buy those tickets again. I know sports venues are that way too.
Yeah, they can do that. Yeah, there's ways. I think you're right when you talk, like there is a threshold or a ceiling
Yeah,
for all of us on certain things, like tickets. If we're going to talk about that, for me, yeah, I have a threshold. There's several bands that are coming that I would like to see, that maybe either I've seen before or I haven't. And I don't need to be right up front. I don't need to be in the middle. I want a decent seat. Or if it's outside, then I'm very particular because it's like, when is it? Because if
right,
you're coming in August outside, you can forget it. I ain't going.
right.
Um,
And you better be on the shaded side of the stage.
then I want to be on the shaded side. And even then, it's like you're inside somebody's armpit, you know?
Yeah. Well, then they also figure that, well, if people want to be on the shaded side, we'll just charge $10 more a seat on the shaded side.
Then they do it, you know?
Yep, and they
But
get
then I
away
look
with
at
it.
that threshold and I'm like, it's $60 for and then I got to think of $20 to park, and then I got to think that I'm not doing it. I just won't do it.
Well,
Same thing with some of the festivals, you know.
and when you mentioned the movies, look, some of these movies, they're coming out with really good movies, but they're hitting streaming within a month of being released in the theaters. So somebody says, well, rather than going to the theater and spending the big ticket prices and high costs for food and everything, I'll just wait a month and I'll sit there, and when it
It's
gets on
true.
Hulu or Netflix or whatever, $5.99, I can rent it and sit at home and have popcorn and soft drinks. So, I mean, this manipulation, it seems to me that it gets to the point where you say, I got to slow down. I got to back off. Instead of going out to eat 3 times a week, I'm going to go twice. Uh,
Yeah.
instead of getting the expensive pizza, I'll get Domino's or something for the kids.
Well, and then you got to look at too, like you brought up something when you think about too much. I've been really contemplating on my streaming services. Netflix, Netflix is about to raise their prices again. Again.
Sure, because they
It's
know they're going to get it.
But and that's the issue though. Like I'm looking at a situation where I'm going, is this justifiable? Because I have Netflix, I have Disney Plus, I have Peacock right now just because I want to watch soccer and stuff. And Peacock's one I drop and then I come back. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
I have Paramount Plus, knock on wood, only because I canceled it 6 months ago and it's still on my TV and they have not charged me for it. So I'm just riding it out.
Yeah.
Max, HBO Max, or whatever they're calling themselves these days, I got it to watch a show and then I canceled it. Um, there's not like, I don't do Apple TV. I do have the Hulu with Disney Plus, but I'm looking at Netflix like you're talking, okay, you're doing, you can have ads. So of course you did something you said you're never going to do.
Right.
You got ads and you can have a basic ad thing for $12, $13. Well, that's already $2.50 more than I was paying with no ads. But now you're not even offering a no ad thing for that cheap. The no ad is going to be like $16.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, guys, you start adding these up. And now cable sucks. I still don't think anybody should go cable. But you start looking at like a $16 Netflix, and then you've got HBO doing the ads, you've got Hulu doing the ads, you got Amazon doing the ads, and you start adding all those up even with ads. At some point, you got to say it's enough. And I think for me, I'm getting to that point where I'm like, okay, let me look at what you have coming out over the next 6 months, and let me see how long I want to keep your streaming service.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been having issues with Prime,
Prime
because
sucks.
now Prime has got a lot of the more recent movies coming on, but you still have to rent them or
Yeah,
buy
well,
them
yeah, they do
or
the early rental. They do the early rental. They get rights like early rentals and all that, and then you have to buy it. But the other thing is you also have those studios now like Peacock. Oppenheimer's on Peacock right now. So I mean, do you rent it or do you pay $4.99 a month and just pay the $5 to watch Oppenheimer, enjoy it for a month and kill it? You know, and then you have, Paramount Plus has exclusive rights to things. So now their movies go on Paramount Plus. Then Max, Warner Brothers, the biggest disaster in the world, they're like, oh, well, we have Barbie. So
yeah.
it's create. And when is enough enough? When are you like, it's too much for me right now. I can't do it.
Actually, I'm following Paramount Plus probably more than anything because they've got Showtime, a lot of
You got to
series
pay
on
for it though.
Showtime.
You got to pay for Showtime.
No, I got into a $5.99 a month thing for a year with Paramount Plus, and then I think it might go to twice that. So it'll go to $12 a month or so. But to be able to watch series from Showtime and other series as well as their own Paramount Plus. Now, Lauren has sometimes said, "Well, wait a minute, yeah, but that movie was from 27." But I'll say, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a really good movie just because
Well,
it was an older movie.
well, the thing is, and that's what I'm getting at, but I have Paramount Plus and anything that says Showtime on it, I can't watch unless I pay extra.
Oh, really? See,
Yeah.
maybe it's just that I got in on a deal.
So, and quite frankly, at this point, it's like you guys should just merge the two. Just
Yeah,
stop it. I'd rather pay $10 and know I can watch it than have to add four more. I don't know, or
yeah.
$9 or whatever. Um, I do think that Paramount Plus just isn't adding stuff. But I think a lot of these studios are getting in problems because of the studio rights. They're all trying to come up with but I think enough is enough. I think at some point you got to say enough, like at what point do we just stop doing it? Or are we so programmed with anything? They keep raising the prices. We're going to complain, but we're going to pay. At some point, when do we just say, you know what, I'm not doing it? Whether that be on a personal level or a unilateral level.
Well, that's why I said it that at the top of the show. How much is too much? You reassess from time to time and just say, for instance, if the gas pumps all of a sudden it was $4 a gallon, would you drive less or would you say no? I'm just going to have to absorb four
No.
dollars a gallon because I just want to continue to drive as often as I do.
Me personally would drive less, 100%.
Yeah,
Like I said, I don't want to drive now, so there you go. But I would drive less. I
yeah.
obviously I can't stop driving.
Yeah, or
Um,
either that or you'd go out and get one of those little motorized Razor scooters.
yeah, I feel like
Uh,
I'd have a golf cart.
there
Um,
you go.
but I can't stop driving. I've got a son, he's got school, um, things like that. But I would definitely look at, okay, are there those road trips probably would be, slim to none. I would be planning my trips more. If I had errands, now you zip around.
Right.
I'd be like, nope, today, okay, I dropped Luke off at school. I'm gonna go get laundry done. I'm gonna go grocery shop before I get back home. Or maybe I'm gonna time those out, getting my errands done when I go to pick him up so that I can just head in that direction. You'd put more, that's what I would do. I can't speak for anybody else, but
Well, look what online shopping has done. A lot of people
true.
say it's a lot more convenient. I don't have to get in the car. I don't have to drive to these 3, 4, or 5 different places. I go to one site. I buy what I need, and it's on my doorstep within a couple of days.
Well, and that's same with like, with even curbside, you
Yep.
go pick up your orders from these grocery stores and most of them will put it up 3%. They'll jack it up 3%. But even that 3%, you're like, okay, but if I go to a grocery store, I got to spend the time there and time is precious. And
Right.
chances are the majority of us, list or not, are going to buy something else that's going to cause our $50 to $100 groceries turn into 120. Look, I can tell you right now,
That's right.
one of the biggest reasons, even though I'm at a grocery store 5 days a week, one of the biggest reasons that I pick and choose when I'm going to hand shop a grocery store, besides the fact that when I'm done, I just want to go home, is because I know that I know I'm going to 80% of the time buy something that I didn't plan on, because there's cool stuff. But if I curbside it, I put that list together, I'm done.
Well, that was the whole marketing plan behind most grocery stores for decades, and that
Mm-hmm.
was if they would advertise milk, 79 cents a gallon. You say, "Oh my God, 79 cents a gallon for milk." You ain't going in there just to buy 1 or 2 gallons of milk and go home.
Okay, you're going to get hit.
You're
You're
going
going
to
to
end
get
up
hit.
filling up the cart, and you're going to overpay for a lot of stuff to compensate for getting you through the door on that lost leader.
Well, and then you got to look at, you just think, I'm thinking about events and birthdays and Christmas and, dinners, like at what point do you say, look, this is it, guys.
Yeah.
This is too much. It's getting too expensive for this thing. I think about kids' birthdays. Luckily, Luke's isn't coming up till the end of September, but I'm like, bro, like, yes, especially as they get older and you want their friends there, this getting too much. Like, it's a birthday and I want them to have a special moment and I want them to enjoy it, and they should, especially at the young age. There's
Right.
too many things in life that get screwed over. They should enjoy that moment. But at some point, I mean, his birthday last year was great. We went to this jump zone place and they got the pizzas and the food, and I brought in like a veggie food tray dip,
Right.
and then kids just went crazy, right? Here's the problem though. It was great, but it wasn't cheap. Now, yes, we didn't have to have those kids trash our house. We didn't have to plan food or buy the pizzas ourselves.
Right.
We didn't have to clean up anything. Just like, see you later. But you pay for that. And I'm looking at this year, the same party. We're not going back to it, but I was just looking. They've already upped it by like $50.
Yeah. And
I'm
then,
like,
as I
okay,
say,
that's enough.
that puts the onus on you to go in and Google, cheap birthday party
Yeah,
venues. And
right.
sometimes it's in a bowling alley, and sometimes it's you have to. It puts the onus on us to try and find the way to save a few bucks.
You got to. And I've even done it with coffee. I know some of you guys are laughing and probably don't believe me, but I've even done it with coffee. Number one, I cut my coffee intake down a little bit because I realized over the last couple of months I was getting on what I like to call dangerous levels of coffee intake. I mean, but I cut it down a little bit, but it's very easy for me to go grab coffee, especially because I'm around it so much. And then I was like, you know what? I'm cutting it. I'm going to spend my time and go, okay, this is a weekend, or maybe this is a week that I am going to go buy this coffee from the coffee shop. Or if I ever get to meet my friends, you, and hang out at a coffee shop,
Yeah.
that's cool. But I've also done it to where, okay, I'm not getting the fancy drink at a coffee shop that I normally like. Number one, it's not good for you all the time, but it's expensive. I'm going to get if I really like their traditional coffee, then I'm going to pay that $2.50 as opposed to the $7 to get that because I really like it,
Or you pick up those traditional beans at the store and you brew your own at home.
And I do that. And I do that at home. My biggest thing is late night, or not late night, a lot of work, you know. Lately I've been bouncing around between Fort Worth, McKinney, Waco. So I'm like, I just need some freaking coffee, you know?
No, and you know that I'm a K cup user,
Sure.
because I'm the only one that drinks coffee and all. But I go online and I say, you know, inexpensive K cups, and I
Yeah,
found
that's
a
fair.
company that makes really good K cups. It runs about
Yep.
30 cents a cup,
Not bad.
whereas if you buy some of the brand names, it's 60 cents a cup. I mean,
And if the product is good, that's
yep,
the other thing.
yeah,
Like, I'm not going to save money just to save it if the product sucks. I'm not going to do that.
right,
But if the product is good and you like it, absolutely. Look, 80% of the stuff I buy from work is own brand items, and their own brand items are awesome. And I'm not just saying it,
right,
they're phenomenal. And the difference between a lot of their own brand items and other competitions own, or name brand or store items, is that they make it themselves. They're not shipping a recipe somewhere. They're not asking an outside company. They
contracting
are
somebody else to do that.
right.
Yeah,
And that's fine if the other people do it, but they are getting behind their product, making it selves, looking at the ingredients, and you can tell. So I'm sitting here like, dude, ice cream, for example. I know Texans love their Bluebell. I'm not putting Bluebell down. I think it's good. It's ice cream. But I'm buying the Creamy Creations because that stuff is fire, cheaper than Bluebell, Texas made. I
right.
know where it's made, and they get wild with their ideas. So it's like Ben and Jerry's and Bluebell had a baby, and you can get but you save money, but it's good product. But then there's other product that I'm like, I don't like it, and you got to pay for it, you know?
Right. Well, one thing is we're glad that you've been watching our shows and following us and all, because we've been talking about having to increase the price for you to watch us.
We
Uh,
should.
yeah, and all, and so we're under negotiations for that, and so keep watching us while it's still free.
And feel free to just go ahead and Venmo or Zelle us money that you think you should pay for the show.
Yeah, we take tips.
Um,
We don't. We have a
yes,
virtual tip jar,
you can Apple Pay us, or Facebook Pay us.
right?
I
Yeah,
don't think Spotify has it yet, but we'll take money. I'm just saying.
that's right, and we'll reinvest it in our shows to you.
Yes, we need new swag. We need new microphones. I don't know. We need to go get food.
Right. We need to live. We need to pay the rent. Go make a good one. Catch you next week.
See you there,
Bye.
guys.